much, Jade, for joining me today. This is another episode of Youth Sports Stories. And my name is Natalie Hummel. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Every Kid Sports. And I'm really excited to have Jade Strawberry here today. So Jade, why don't you tell us just a little bit about what you're currently doing and what your role is, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here as well. My name is Jade Strawberry. I am the executive assistant at RCX. We are the youth sports company. I also work on a lot of special projects, just project managing. So that's what I do.
Okay, awesome. So tell me a little bit about RX. I know you guys provide youth sports, but just give a little bit of an overview so people kind of understand what you do.
Yeah, just as you can see in my background, we run NFL flag, rivals, camp and combine series, Adidas volleyball. We do a bunch of youth sporting events. So usually, when we're not in a pandemic, we're able to go out in the field and run different events and touch a lot of kids.
Okay, awesome. Well, one of the things I'd love to hear about is kind of your youth sports stories. So what are some of the youth sports you played growing up, and kind of how far did you go in youth sports or in sports in general? So we'd just love to hear.
Yeah. I started off sports pretty young. My family has a big background in sports. So I got involved pretty young. I actually started in basketball and I loved it. And I thought I was going to play basketball forever, but my mom played volleyball in college. So when about eighth grade, I think I was, seventh, eighth grade, she asked me, you should try out volleyball. You might really like it. I kind of was hesitant at first, actually, and because I liked basketball so much, but I ended up trying it and fell in love with the sport. And it took me all the way to college. I played volleyball at the University of Connecticut on scholarship. So had a great experience there, loved it, had the best 4 years ever.
Oh, that's awesome. So I played volleyball in college as well. So I played at Colorado State. And
awesome.
I loved it. And I grew up like you. I was a multi-sport athlete, and I played basketball, I played softball, and then I tried volleyball about the same time as you did, like middle school,
Yeah.
So eighth grade, somewhere around there. And I just fell in love with it, and it became my sport for sure. So
same.
Yeah. So one of the things I'd love to, part of this conversation is to talk about the awareness of what do you learn from sports that carries on into your business career and life. So I'd love to hear from you, what do you think that you learned from playing sports that still serves you today?
Yeah, I think I learned a couple different things. A big one, which I think still serves a lot, especially in, the company that I work for, is teamwork. We still do teamwork today just within our company. Another thing I learned was just how to win and also how to lose. I mean, you can't win everything, so you lose some things. And I think that's a very important lesson that I learned. And of course, a big one too was time management was a big thing, just especially playing at the collegiate level. You have to balance your social life, your academics, volleyball. So I think that was also, a big thing that I learned there as well. So sports, a lot of things on the court translated to off the court and in real life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think one of the reasons, when I look at sports, it's like every day I think of something new that I learned from sports that I'm still applying today. And I love what you said about wins and losses, because, when you're playing a sport, you're not always going to win. And so it's, how do you handle that defeat? And some people let, a loss totally throw them off their game. Where
Right.
you can bounce back from a loss and learn from it and improve from it, you're so much better off, not only in that season, but in your life. So I really love that one.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Losses, you can't win all the time, but losses, they make you better. Even though they hurt sometimes, they definitely make you better.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Well, so, one of the missions that I'm on, and what we're trying to do here at Every Kid Sports, is give more kids access to sports so they can learn those valuable life lessons that translate into their career and life. And, 95% of female executives played sports in high school. And, if the kids aren't getting a chance to play when they're young, they're not going to be high school athletes. And they're not going to go off to play college, and they're not going to learn those life lessons. So I just would love to hear your point of view on what we're trying to do here and how important you think sports is for kids.
Yeah, no, I think what you guys do is absolutely incredible. And that's actually, I know we've met a few times with our company, and that's a huge mission of RCX as well, is making sure that low income kids have the opportunity to play sports as well. I think sports are super important just to keep kids active too. You know, it keeps kids out of trouble. And growing up, I mean, playing volleyball, there's not a lot of girls growing up like that look like me that played volleyball. So I do think it's incredibly important and incredible what you guys do to give those kids the opportunity.
All right. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. And I really appreciate getting a wide range of voices on here. And, I love the fact that we both played volleyball. Go volleyball. Such a great underrepresented sport a lot of times. So
yeah, definitely is. Thanks for having me.
yeah, great.